Well, welcome to the Business Spotlight panel series. My name is Tanner O'Brien. I'm a senior partner here at Action Coach in Central Texas. Today, I'm sitting down with some amazing business leaders here in the Central Texas community. Excited to jump into just a little bit of discussion around business, around entrepreneurship, around this crazy journey that many of us are on as we continue to look to grow businesses and make connections and all of that sort of thing. So first off, I want to say thank you for everyone for making the time, for being here to have this conversation today. Why don't we just start with a little bit of background? We'll just kind of go, one at a time, couple minutes, just introduce yourself, tell us about your business a little bit. We'll end with Jody, and then I'll kind of let her take on the rest of the conversation and facilitation of the panel from there. But Andrea, why don't we kick off with you? Give us kind of 10,000-foot view. Who are you, and tell us about your business.
Hello, everyone. My name is Andrea Bridges Smith, and I own a production company here in Austin called Fenix Productions. And so there's kind of two sides to the business. And the short way to say it is that I make stuff and I teach other people how to make stuff, but not just stuff, really, really good stuff. So the stuff that I make is I have a comedy news channel on YouTube where I have a podcast and a weekly news show, and we've just added a live midweek show too, which is very exciting. And then on the other side of the business, teaching people how to make stuff. So there, you may have noticed there's a lot of really boring stuff out there, specifically in the realm of marketing, maybe even ultra, especially in B2B marketing. I don't think it has to be that way. And so I teach people how to make content that really grabs people's attention because, again, there's a lot of stuff out there. There's a lot of clutter. You got to break through the clutter if you want people to pay attention to you. So that, in a nutshell, is what I do.
Amazing. I am quite certain that we're going to have some fun jumping into some conversations around marketing and all sorts of business stuff when it comes to that. So appreciate it. Glad to have you here. All right, I'm going to try to pronounce your name best I can.
Just call me Maly.
Maly, got it. Perfect.
Yeah.
Maly, please introduce yourself and tell us about your business.
Hi, everyone. My name is Maly, and I am the founder of Paris 13, which is a food business that serves French comfort food in Austin, Texas. Our mission is to offer an authentic culinary experience for those who want to explore France through a different lens. In my case, I only started working on my business when I was a young professional, a few years after graduating. It was personally a solution to many problems that I was facing professionally and personally. Professionally wise, because I was a pre-med student and I didn't end up going to med school, first of all. And so then it led me to being into tech sales all the way there. And I really like the sales part. I love the operation, but I didn't necessarily love the culture. Personally, what helped is that I moved to Austin 11 years ago from France for college. I graduate, and I had been so far away from my parents, my family, and I was very homesick. So the business all started with this idea of reuniting with my parents and to cure my selfish need of homesickness. And so that's when I came up with the concept of Paris 13. Um, and so, yeah, that's a little bit about me. I've been in business for 3 years, officially, and a bit more unofficially.
Fantastic. Well, welcome. I'm excited to dive into some conversation around that as well. Jody, I'll hand it over to you to kind of do your quick little background since I didn't really do any intro for you,
No, that's
and
okay.
take it away on the questions.
I'm Jody O'Brien. I'm a senior partner here and with Tanner and Dr. Hartley and my husband. So it's kind of a family business. And my background is about 35 plus years. I've worked actually a lot with nonprofits. So that's kind of my sweet spot, and helping them learn how to be a business is kind of what it ended up being, which kind of fit right into what we're doing here with Action Coach. So I like to work with business owners and also women who get women and nonprofits so we could still save the world. So that's kind of a little bit about me, not a whole lot, because I really want to know about all of the things you guys are talking about, because I love to laugh. I'm a very funny person, if you ask me. So I can't wait to hear about more of the comedy. And also I love to eat. And so, So I'm like, yes, this will be great. So let's kind of start off with, I know that, as a business owner, you have to wear a lot of different hats. So tell me a little bit about the different hats that you wear in your business.
You want me to go first?
Go for it.
Okay. I am just drowning in hats. There are so many hats. It's a lot of hat wearing. Just big stack of them on top of my head. So for the longest time, I was kind of a one-woman show, and I would just hire people as needed for like a specific job. Now I have a writing staff, which is wonderful. So in addition to being the on-camera talent and the editor and the creative director and the head writer, I am also now the manager of the writing team, which is great. And I love doing that. And we have some on-air talent as well. And I'm the director for them as well as myself. I think that is one of the tough things about being a small business owner is, you're just for a while until you get that first wheelbarrow full of cash to come in, you got to do it all yourself. And luckily I have a lot of energy and I know how to do a lot of things. So it's worked out, but I'm really looking forward to the day where I can put some of these hats on someone else's head, because heavy is the head that wears 400 hats,
Exactly.
I love that, Andrea. I'm gonna join you also. I started this business first by myself, so I wear all the hats. I was actually, then my mom joined this venture, so she is the chef. Actually, both my parents are chefs, so I grew up in this environment. And so she kind of took over more the food prep, and then I took over everything else. And then recently, I hired somebody for social media. So I'm slowly, giving one hat at a time. But it's very hard personally to, I think, to like sometimes have everything under control. So many things fall under like through the cracks, and I try my best to just do my best and be content with that, but it's really hard.
So with that, what would be some advice you would give a business owner that's wearing all those hats? What have you found? What little tricks and systems have you found that help you kind of help with all of those hats?
I'm happy to answer that first. For me, I talk a lot about my business to my friends. My friends are really smart. They have built systems, organizations, and they give me tough love. I ask them advice, but I think the main thing what I've learned is to take a step back sometimes and not actually feel like the business is like, it's obviously a brand, but it's not who you are. And one advice that I was given is to always think your business that if you're going to sell it to someone. And so that has been what I've been trying to. It's helped me with my perfectionism, because before I used to want everything to be my way. And now I understand that it's better sometimes to let go of the control and trust the talent that's around you that are going to do way better than you are doing anyways. And especially they're going to get it done. So it takes it off your list of to-dos. So that's kind of what I've been trying to live by. It's not easy, but I work on that every day.
That's great. That is great. You've learned a lot already just knowing that it's a business to sell, right? I mean, that's the goal. How about you?
I would say take a week off, because I did this recently after a period of several months of, working so hard and doing a great job, and then like parenting and just all of the things. And there was just a lot of stuff. And I was doing okay, but I was just like thinking about the day to day, like, okay, today I got to get this and this and this done. And it's just crossing stuff off the to-do list all day. And taking a week off allowed me to zoom out and look at it all without the pressure of the day-to-day stuff for a minute and rest and think about, okay, there's all these things that I could do that I haven't done because I've been so busy, but actually it wouldn't be that hard for me to do them. And once I started, I came back after that week with just like so much energy and just like, yeah, I'm gonna kick ass, like, boom, yes, awesome. And I just started doing stuff, and it was amazing how quickly all these new things sort of popped up, all these new opportunities and ideas. And I was like, man, I'm gonna take a week off more often. Like that was really good.
That's great.
I
That's
like
great
that.
advice.
I like that advice.
Because even to do it like during the day, taking 10 minutes to just, it's hard, but to just walk away for just a little while.
Right.
So let me know a little bit more about your business. So if I were in the audience, and how would I know that I'm a good fit for your product? So
let's see, like on the side of the business where I teach people how to make stuff, I would say I'm looking for marketers who are, caught up in that day to day of like, oh, I got to generate leads. I got to put out a white paper. I got to, so they're just doing the stuff. But deep down, they know that this could be so much more exciting and interesting and fun, but they just don't know how. I want to talk to those people. I want to talk to people who are like, I'm really ready to make a big change. I'm really ready to just like throw out the playbook and make a whole new one, because we're just inching forward and I want to explode. Like, those are the people that I want to talk to.
Awesome. That's great.
So in my case, Paris 13 serves Austinites at this point who are looking for an authentic gastronomic experience. And simply, if you appreciate fresh, homemade French dishes with a twist of comfort, then you're a great fit for a product. And on honesty, that's kind of what I do.
That's great. So, what's one thing like in your industry that what is one thing you'd like everybody to know about your industry that they may not know, they may not understand?
So when I started this business, this idea started in college. I was homesick, like I said, and Austin has an amazing food scene. There's no debate about it. But I was very surprised by how Americans perceive French food. It feels like French food only goes into two categories: pastries or fine dining. But there's no in between. And what I would love for everyone to know is that it goes way beyond that, simply.
If I could ask before we move on, what's your favorite dish? What's your favorite, French comfort food?
My favorite one would have to be the French shepherd's pie, the hachis parmentier. And in this case, we make the chicken version, but in France, it's called the blanquette de veau, which is the veal blanquette, creamy sauce. These are dishes that I've ate every day at the school, and I was very surprised that not many people know about it because it's so delicious. And I know people love French food. And so sometimes a bit disappointing that we are just kind of this old stereotypes of what the French cuisine is.
Awesome. I made note. I'm gonna have to. Yes, I am very hungry at the moment.
Thank you.
How about you, Andrea?
Let's see, what people don't know about marketing. I think even though we are all consumers of marketing, what consumers don't know is how many data points people have on you. It would truly scare you to death if you knew how many things marketers knew about you. And what I feel like marketers don't know, even though they live it themselves, is just how short the attention spans are these days, you know, and everybody says that. It's like, no, really, look inside someone's inbox. It's bonkers. It's bonkers in there. It is a jungle in there. You are going into a jungle. You need a machete, you know, a gentle machete. But you know, you can't just say, yeah, I know, everybody's busy, you know. No, really think about it. Really look inside someone's inbox or inside someone's social media and just see the sheer volume of things that are coming at our face all day, every day. It's completely overwhelming. And you have got to plan with that in mind.
So let me ask you this. What is your favorite strategy for your business in marketing? What do you use that you feel is the best for your business?
So I have a theorem that I have taught, and it is called the Puppy Sharkano Nazi Slayer theorem. And that's about storytelling. And basically what that is the ideal story. You have a beginning and an end. There's a drama and resolution. You know, there's this two parts to every story business thing. You know, in marketing, it's product, solution. And the more distance you can put between those two things, the more drama that you can create, the farther apart that you can make them, the better your story will be. And so the ideal story starts with a puppy being dropped into a volcano full of sharks, and then that puppy goes on to defeat the Nazis. So that's why the theory is called that. So what I think about is, okay, when I am trying to sell something, you know, what are those two things and how can I push them farther apart? You know, and you can do that. One good question to ask is, what does everyone expect right now? What is the opposite of that? And then go do that. So a great example of this is like, let's take bottled water, for example. They're all blue, they're all in a plastic bottle, they're all like bubbly mountain streams, so fresh, there's no fish poop in here. But the opposite of that, calm, blue, serene water bottle thing is, you know, heavy metal, black, dark aluminum cans. And that would be Liquid Death Mountain Water, which is one of the fastest growing beverage brands. So they said, we want to be in this space. What does everyone expect? Let's do the opposite of that. And it creates that drama and that interest and that distance between start and beginning that makes them so fascinating. So that's what I would advise everybody to do. Say, okay, whatever industry you're in, what do people expect? And then figure out what the opposite is and try it.
Do you have a modality of telling that story that you enjoy the most, whether it's, you know, written or it's video or it's, you know, images and graphics and email, blogs, things like that? Do you have a platform or a modality that you personally enjoy the most in telling that story?
So I would say when I do my comedy news show, we'll do a story and we have a very clear point of view that is not for everybody. There's 50% of the population that's really not going to like it, but we want to talk to the other 50%. So we will say, okay, this, you know, politician did this, and it's something truly outrageous that just makes you go, what? And what I like to do is say, why is that a good thing? You know, this bad thing that this bad person did, why is it a good thing? And then that's what I make a joke out of. So, you know, like in Texas, for example, when Ted Cruz went off to Cancun in the middle of the snowstorm, obviously that was not a good idea, just optics wise, you know, but if I'm writing a joke about that, I think, okay, why is it good that Ted Cruz did that? Well, A lot of people don't like Ted Cruz, and we got to be rid of him for a minute, so that's good, you know. And then I would start thinking through, you know, what are all those other things that that might be good reasons, you know. Maybe he went to Mexico to do research on warm stuff that he was going to bring back to share with us, you know, or something like that. So that's where I start making the jokes, and I think that's a lot funnier than just saying Ted Cruz went to Cancun and that's awful, you know.
I like that. I like that a lot.
That's really cool, by the way, Andrea. Well, in the food business, marketing always plays a very crucial role. Some marketing strategies that have worked for us are obviously social media, active engagement on the platforms like Instagram and Facebook, and where we like share visuals of our food, our dishes, and interact with the customers. It has proven highly effective. We also participate in farmers market. So being present at local farmers market allows us to connect with our customers on a more personal level. And it's a great way to build relationships and foster loyalty. And I would say lastly, one thing that worked for us was collaborations, partnering with local influencers, food bloggers, and complementary business in Austin has helped us like just reach a broader audience, but it also established credibility. So I think in summary, our marketing strategy is like a blend of digital presence, local engagement, and partnerships to effectively reach our target audience and build a strong, supportive customer base.
Fantastic. Curious in being in the food industry, and I know that a big piece of it is getting people to come back over and over and over again. And outside of just having really amazing food that people want to come back for, is there anything else that you do marketing wise to keep people coming back? Whether that's you know, emails back to your database, or you know, come
So
back this many times, or anything like that that helps people come back.
I have like a lesson learned that I went through last week. So my business started during pandemic, which is not the best time to start a food business, especially. Um, so I used to cater for a local private school in Dripping Springs. It's like 30 minutes away. And while I had all the database, like the customer base information, it was very limited. And I stopped at that a year, 2 years ago. And then I started farmers market as a way to see if my business actually would, if Austinites would like my business, and getting a real feedback from. And everything went great. We extended this year, so things are going good. I did realize though that I was not capturing my customer profile information. Yes, so I yeah, I think with the farmers market, because we were doing it weekly, it was already like the recurring customers that goes to the farmers market, and then they come back and they try your food and they love it and they love the whole experience and they come back. I have recently noticed that I need to capture this information in order to be able to grow and scale up. So that is what I'm working on this next phase to be more scalable and capturing all this data, because I mean, either you get money or you get data, right? And right now I got the money, but I need the data. So that's kind of, it's a great question. I was hoping you were not going to go on it, but now it is. So let's say all the like mistakes I've done. I have a bunch of them.
That's perfect. That's exactly what we want to hear, in the most positive way possible. You know,
Yeah.
when we can, you know, talk about different things that actually happen in business, because we all feel these same things at some point in time, and being able to, you know, talk about, here's a lesson learned and now I know what to do. And it's fantastic to hear that. So I do appreciate you allowing me to ask that question, and
Of
being willing to answer.
course. And to be honest, when I got humbled by this lesson, I got more excited about my business. So, you know, it was a good thing that happened. The silver lining of my mistakes.
That's
Love that.
awesome. That's awesome. So where do you see your business like three to 5 years?
I'm happy to answer that. I would love it to be in CPG. I think this is I know I've been trying to figure out if I go in the roadmap of a brick and mortar, but I think this should be how I see my product is a little bit like a little delicacy that everyone should be able to enjoy from the comfort of their home. I think that means much more. So for me, I would love to bring my brand into CPG, to see it like on shelves. I did try to get into some programs, and the idea is great. Now it's just the execution of it. So there was some validation. I just need to find money now, to do it. But I'm going on it. I'm working on that.
Awesome. That's great. What about you, Andrea?
For me, I picture us doing our show live 5 days a week, full staff, producers, cameramen, an audio guy even. I already have a team, like I already have the org chart right here, ready to go. Just need, a little bit of dinero to start hiring all those people. And then what I want to offer to people who want to advertise on our show is a really unique ad experience where we say, okay, we're going to let our comedy writers write an ad for you that's going to fit really seamlessly into our show. That's really going to grab people's attention. Like, we're not going to do your little ad copy of, get 20% off with code, blah, 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 no, it's boring. Everybody's done it. We're not doing that. Okay. We're going to do something new and exciting and interesting and cool that's going to actually grab people's attention. And then you can take that ad and go run it other places if you want to. But I bet we're going to be able to give people a winning ad concept that's going to be better than, what they're doing. And we're going to get to have a lot of fun doing it.
Awesome. I'm in.
Me too, Andrea. I'm going to call you soon.
Great. I'll take food for payment. So
yeah,
that
no
works.
kidding. Yeah. So as we, I'm looking at the time. I'm guessing I haven't gotten my start wrapping up. But as we start to wrap up, I have a few rapid fire questions that just to top of the head, top of your head answers. What is the key to success for you?
Pivoting. And I can elaborate on that if you would like, but in one word, pivoting. Got to be able to pivot.
I love that you're actually able to give us one word.
Yeah.
Doesn't always happen.
You said lightning round, so I tried to do lightning.
Yeah, you did good.
In my case, I would say consistency. That is, I think, the best for me, to be consistent.
What is one piece of advice that you would give to other business owners?
Just do it.
I love that.
I would say if it's not working and if you're beating your head against the wall, and you're not getting anywhere, change. Don't keep doing that to yourself.
Awesome. If you had the opportunity to sprinkle like a little bit of magic dust over one single area in your business and it would improve like overnight, like what would you choose to place that little sprinkling magic dust on?
Accounting.
That's a really good answer.
I hate it, guys. And I used to love math, but I don't know why it just does. I don't know. It just drives me crazy. No, honestly.
I would say sales. If I could have a magic sales fairy that would go out and sell for me and, I mean, even if they would get meetings for me, I could close the deal, but I just, all that outreach, it's a lot of work.
Yeah, you look like you need some business development, Andrea.
Yeah, yeah.
So one final question of the day is, how can others learn more about you and your company, and how can they get in contact with you? Like on social media, however you want to share.
So my website is sanfenix.com, and that's spelled Fenix, and that is Spanish for, excuse me, Saint Phoenix, because me starting my business was kind of rising up out of the ashes of a really bad job that I used to work at. So that's my website, sanfenix.com. I also have the YouTube channel, which is at Phoenix News Network, also spelled Fenix. And you can reach me via email. That's probably the easiest way, at ABS for Andrea Bridges Smith at sanfenix.com.
And we'll have the links in the description for everybody so they can go to them. Right, Tanner, since I don't do that part.
Yes, we will make sure that all of this is in the video description below. So once we are wrapped up here, make sure you go click the links, go check out everybody, go give them a follow if possible, subscribe to YouTube channels, all that kind of stuff. You got to do it. You know, the best thing about this process is actually making connections and all that kind of, you know, here in the Central Texas area. So, Maly, where can we go for more information for your business?
I have a website called Paris 13, Paris, and then 13 all written out.com. And you can find me every Saturday at the local farmers market, at the Barton Creek Farmers Market from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. I also recently expanded, so you can find me during the week at what we call Ghost Kitchen, where you can order for takeout and come pick it up. And and where else? And you can find me on Instagram for all the updates at paris.13, because I couldn't get the handle that I wanted.
Excellent. Well, actually, you know, we have like an extra minute or two. I know Jody said that, you know, she had the final question. I had something that popped in my head, and I'd love kind of for y'all's thoughts on it. Maly, you mentioned, you know, advice that you would give is just to do it. And I know that's one that I've heard a number of times from entrepreneurs and business owners out there, is just take the leap, just do it. And I know that a big piece of, you know, the challenge for others out there is this fear that pops up. So knowing that y'all have taken the leap, and I'm would have to guess there's at least some level of fear at some point in this stage. What has been kind of y'all's philosophy or best practices when it comes to overcoming fear, especially when it comes to business?
So I think that overcoming fear, the best way how to do it is just to do it. I know it's weird how I'm saying it, but I feel like all the decisions that have scared me are the one that like helped me grow the most. I am, like my parents are war refugees. I was never destined to come to live in Austin, Texas, never to start a business. So I see life more as like, wow, I've done all of this. What can I not do, or at least try to do? And so I overthink a lot. I'm somebody who wants everything perfect in the details and all that. But sometimes you just gotta shut down that voice and trust your inner child who just used to do things because they could do it. I think human beings have this habit of thinking they're not good enough. And that's really sad, because if we all supported each other, it would just be like beautiful to see how everyone thinks and everything that has to be shared to everyone. So that's my take on that.
I love that. Thank you.
Starting my business is one of the scariest things that I've ever done. And I'm terrified every day. I'm terrified right this minute. I left behind a 6-figure job in corporate America with incredible health insurance. Guys, I cannot tell you how good this health insurance was. It was stellar. And I just left all of that because I was kind of dying on the inside. The day that I cleaned out my desk, everything that I pulled out of my desk was some sort of coping mechanism. I had like calming teas and lavender oil and an emotional support chocolate drawer and, just tinctures and potions. My whole desk was just stress relief stuff. And the amount of lightness I felt leaving that place and doing this, even though it was so scary. Yes, this is going to be scary. And I think a really good exercise is to say, okay, first of all, thank you, fear. You are trying to help me. You are trying to keep me safe. You are doing your absolute best to keep me in a very protected little bubble. And I appreciate that. Now go sit over there. And I think you should write down, what would it look like if I wasn't afraid? What would I do if I wasn't this scared? And then go do that.
I like that. That's a really cool take on it all. Well, I appreciate you both allowing me to ask the question and kind of get some additional nuggets out. I just, given what I've been hearing lately, I think that will resonate with the audience, and I just thought it'd be kind of fun to share some of that with them. So with that, I want to say thank you for taking the time to be here, a part of this panel series. It's incredible to hear the stories for both y'all's businesses as you continue to grow and scale. Excited to see where things go over the next couple of years. Again, for all those watching, I'll make sure to put the contact information in the video description below. So please make sure you take the time, go click, go make connections, and have some fun out there. So thank you all. And it's been a pleasure.
Thanks
Thank
very
you,
much.
Tanner. Thank you, JD.